Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Sauce. NFL Sunday. Week 14 is here, and we're taking a trip up to the AFC North for a rivalry game. Bengals, Browns, let's go.
Welcome to the Sauce. The Sauce. Sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
All right, Cleveland on the road in Cincinnati here. The look-ahead line for this game was Bengals -3.5, but after last weekend's games, the line reopened back up at Cincinnati -6. Public early was all over Cincinnati. The money was even though, so that means there's some pros out there that like Cleveland. Nothing really changes throughout the week. Public is still heavy on Cincinnati. Still a few sharp dollars in on Cleveland. The line does drop. It drops from 6. We're looking at Cincinnati -5.5 now as of Saturday night. So let's cap this game. If you subscribe to this channel, you already know the first step. We're running the numbers through the spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Cincinnati -5.89. which again, really doesn't give us a lean, same as the last video, pretty much right on par with where the books have it. So let's break down this matchup, and the Bengals are a hot ticket right now, man. I mean, Cincinnati is now 17-3 against the spread in their last 20 games dating back to last year. Joe Burrow is starting to look like a legitimate MVP candidate, coming off a huge upset win over Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs last week. Cincinnati has now won 4 straight football games. They have not lost since Halloween, and they've looked good in that stretch too. They look really good right now. It's really easy to make a case for a Bengals double-digit victory in this game, without a doubt. But there's a weird added element to capping this game. Remember I said they haven't lost since October, Halloween? That loss was to Cleveland, and the score was 32-13 on Monday Night Football. An absolute beatdown. And check this out, there's actually a pattern to this. It's been a while since the Bengals have beaten Cleveland. In fact, Joe Burrow has never beaten the Cleveland Browns once in his entire career. He is 0-4 career against the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland has completely owned Cincinnati in recent years. The Browns have won 5 straight football games and 7 of their last 8 matchups against the Bengals. I mean, the Bengals defense just never seems to have an answer for this Cleveland Browns rushing attack. Since 2020, the Browns averaged 33.2 points per game against the Bengals in their 5 matchups. Nick Chubb has played 8 career games against the Bengals, 8. He's got 763 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns. If he played every game against Cincinnati, he'd be averaging 1,621 yards and 15 touchdowns a season. The Cleveland Browns run game is the Cincinnati defense's kryptonite. It's been proven again and again and again. Now, as far as Cleveland's passing attack goes, I mean, Deshaun Watson didn't look good. Will we see some improvement this week? I'd have to say, yeah. It's important to take note that, this is his first game in 2 years. He hasn't played a football game in 2 years. B, it was his first game on this team. He's playing with all new teammates, new coaches, new system, new everything. He hasn't played in 2 years. And C, let's talk about the elephant in the room. That was a tough environment for Deshaun Watson to play in. Playing in Houston, where he's played his entire career, in front of a fan base that pretty openly dislikes him now. I mean, some of his alleged victims were there. Cut to the chase, there was probably a lot on Deshaun Watson's mind other than football. Now, of course, that pressure doesn't just go away after 1 week. Of course not. There's still a lot of hatred aimed towards Deshaun Watson. He's still in the spotlight, still have millions of eyes on him. That being said, to go out there and play poorly in that environment at Houston, that was almost like the worst of it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it should only get easier and easier from here for Watson. It should be easier to focus more on football and less on the surroundings. Now, as far as the Cleveland Browns defense goes, obviously it's bad. That's no secret. We all know this defense isn't good. But there is one angle here that leans towards the Browns' way in this matchup against Joe Burrow and the Bengals. So why is Cleveland's defense so bad? The main reason is they can't stop the run. They're terrible against the run, one of the worst teams in the NFL against the run. Teams come in and just slam the ball between the tackles on Cleveland and keep the offense off the field. What is the weakest part of the Cincinnati offense? The run game. I mean, the Bengals can't really run the ball. At least they haven't been able to in a while. In fact, there's some chatter on Bengals Twitter that they want to see Piron getting more looks just because he's more suited to be a piece in the passing offense than Joe Mixon is. It's almost like they're abandoning the run. Like, oh, we can't run the ball. We might as well have the better pass blocker and the better pass catcher on the field. That's insane to me. If the Bengals can't run the ball, and let's face it, they normally can't, Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney are going to be in predator mode after Joe Burrow. If you're sitting here wondering, how have the Browns beat the Bengals 5 in a row? I don't remember that. Like, how do they do that? Simple. The pass rush. That's how. Joe Burrow running for his life. That's how the Browns keep beating Cincinnati. That's why I'm riding with history here. I'm with the dog pound. I completely get why the public is on Cincinnati here. They look great, but the public's always on Cincinnati against Cleveland, and they just keep losing. So at 5.5, I'm taking the points. Give me Cleveland plus 5.5. Dog pound, baby. If anything changes with this bet, I'll let you know on Twitter, so give me a follow there if you're interested. Also, if you want the Sunday tickets that I put out on Sunday morning, bet of the day, top 7 bets, parlays of the day, that kind of stuff, head over to KyleKirms.com or download the Sauce Network app. Football Sunday, we're coming off a monster weekend. Let's have another one. Let's go back to back here. Remember to bet responsibly, and I will talk to you on Twitter.